Chapter 23. When everyone returned to the banquet hall, the Lady Wilson took Claire's hand on the stage. With an intimate gesture, she said, "I'm really sorry for just now. It was me who made a mistake. In fact, thanks to Claire this time, she is the outstanding descendant of our Wilson family." This time the cooperation between the Wilson family and the Emgrand resulted from the efforts of Claire. She really made great efforts. Doris Young stood by her side, glanced at her disdainfully, waved her hand to stop her from speaking further, and said, "I will correct it." In this cooperation, Miss Claire has not only made great efforts, but completely it is made possible by her power, and has nothing to do with other people. This is extremely rude, but everyone is accustomed to it. With the status of an emperor, even if Doris Young slaps the Lady Wilson in public, she dare not say anything. The old Mrs. Wilson nodded quickly and said, "Vice Chair Doris is right. For everything, the credit goes to Claire. From now on, Claire will be the director of the Wilson family's business, fully responsible for the cooperation between the Wilson family and the Emgrand Group." Doris Young showed a slight smile and shook hands with Claire and said, "I hope we can cooperate happily in the future." Claire was still a little at loss, and could only nod her confused head. The audience burst into thunderous applause, and everyone looked at Claire's eyes, also full of enthusiasm. This woman, who is on the list? The Emgrand Group treats her so seriously. Claire herself was also confused. She turned her head to look at Charlie. The situation at this time was exactly the same as what Charlie had just said. Old Mrs. Wilson returned the position of director that should belong to her. Until the banquet was over, Claire was still in a daze after returning home. Recalling what Charlie had said before, she couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. In the past few days, Charlie seemed to have become a little different. There seemed to be many things on his body that she didn't understand, like it was covered by layers of mist. This night, Claire became famous in Aurus Hill. Everyone knows that there is an outstanding junior from the Wilson family, and the Emgrand Group is on her back. It seems that with her, the revitalization of the Wilson family is just around the corner. The next morning, Claire woke up early and hurried to the company refreshed. Today is her first day as a director. She hopes that she can go all out to do this thing well. After Charlie got up, he started to do housework as always. When Charlie finished his housework and was about to go to the vegetable market to buy vegetables for lunch, he suddenly received a call from his mother-in-law Elaine. After answering the call, the mother-in-law's extremely anxious voice came from over there, "Charlie, within 10 minutes, you must rush to the safe road for me, otherwise I won't spare you when I go home." After that, she hung up the phone. Charlie was confused. The mother-in-law didn't say anything early in the morning. At this moment, she called suddenly, as if something urgent had happened. Although Charlie was very disgusted with his mother-in-law, he did not dare to neglect her orders. After hurriedly cleaning up, he went out to take a taxi and rushed to Safe Road. When he got out of the car, he saw a group of grandpas and aunts surrounded aggressively at the door of a closed insurance company. And his mother-in-law stood at the forefront of the team, holding a banner in her hand, shouting angrily, "Rubbish Harley, fake platform, we want our rights, and pay back my hard-earned money." Charlie hurriedly stepped forward and asked, "Mom, you called me over, what's the matter?" As he was speaking, the condemning slogan sounded in his ear again. The grandfathers and aunts shouted hoarsely that rang the eardrums of the passerbys. Elaine pulled Charlie over, asked him to take her place, and then ordered, "Come on, shout this slogan for me, I have been yelling it all morning, and my voice has become hoarse." Chapter 24. Charlie didn't know why, but he could only protest with a few uncles and aunts. When shouting slogans, he inquired with an uncle next to him from time to time, and then he understood what was going on. It turned out that this Harley Insurance Company Limited offered insurance products with extremely high return rates. And this elderly were attracted by the high rate of return. Everyone bought a lot of insurance products under the company's name and became their customers. This is the fixed time to pay dividends. Unexpectedly, when these elders and aunts came to withdraw cash, they discovered that the door of the company was closed, and only a few employees were at the door, using botched excuses to prevaricate everyone. This gang of grandpas and aunts realized that they were deceived by the empty-gloved white wolf. No wonder the mother-in-law wanted to call him over in a hurry and asked him to participate with him. Thinking of this, Charlie grew big and couldn't help but ask his mother-in-law, "Mom, how much insurance did you buy?" Elaine said anxiously, "They told me that buying the insurance products will bring me a lot of dividends. My head got dizzy and I bought all of their products with all the money from home." Charlie was taken aback. "What? All the money from home used to buy insurance?" After hearing this sentence, Elaine immediately became irritated and cursed. "Just do you have a mouth? Do you think I am not embarrassed enough? Why speak so loudly?" As she spoke, she continued her carping and said, "If you had brought me some profit, I would not have bought the products of this insurance company. With a worst son-in-law like you at the house, what else were my options for the money at home? This guy, it's okay when he does not support the family. But now he is laughing at her, as if he'd made fortunes with that money." Immediately, she said to Charlie, "I am telling you, keep chanting slogans here to help me, you can't stop for a moment." Charlie couldn't help but nodded and said, "Okay, Mom." At this moment, several aunts came over, looked up and down Charlie, then asked Elaine, "Sister Elaine, is this your son-in-law?" As they spoke, they scanned Charlie's clothes again, shook their head, and laughed. "Why does he look so poor? He does not look like a son-in-law material from any angle. Yes, this dress is worn too many times. It can't compare to that of Lady Wilson." Some people are so good at disparaging, the ridicule in and out of the words is particularly harsh. Charlie didn't care. They were all old ladies who had fallen into the soil up to half of their bodies. Now they have lost their savings for a lifetime, so he doesn't need to exchange words with them. Elaine was also very angry at this time, and the more Charlie looked at it, the more unpleasant she was. She blurted out, "Look at him, I'll let my daughter divorce him in a few days. Change her future with a new son-in-law." Charlie sneered in his heart. If you add the rich second generations of Aurus Hill in, it can't be compared with his half finger. Elaine was anxiously worried at this time. Charlie was a waste, and at most he could shout slogans for her. If she wants to invest back, she still needs someone with real ability to come and help solve it. It's a pity that Wendell Jones's family who has been pursuing her daughter has gone bankrupt. Otherwise, she could ask them to help. Correct. Elaine suddenly remembered that Gerald's brother, Fred, whom she met at the family banquet yesterday, is her hope. Judging from his attitude towards her daughter at the time, it is estimated that he had some thoughts about Claire. Although the White family is not as good as the previous Jones family, it is still a big family. If she calls him over, there should be a way. It just so happened that Fred White left his business card yesterday, so she took her phone out and dialed Fred's number.